American Indians and Alaska Natives living in Washington have high rates of homelessness, health issues, and problems with educational access, but they often lack access to tribal systems and resources, and even those are underfunded. What would you do in Congress to address the issues faced by these groups?
This is an issue that has been much worse in the past than it is now. It used to be where Native Americans would never leave the reservation. Now they are leaving the reservation. They have incomes. They are doing better. They have jobs. They have health care now. They even have the first Native American university. That's awesome. So let's keep that going. That's going in the right direction. Let's help that. So as a congresswoman in Congress, I would support funding that university and finding other areas to open up those universities to make education more accessible for them. I would be sure that the public school systems in their areas, they come out of the reservation in order to go to school in their communities. Thank goodness for that. They need to have good schools to go to. I lived in a community that was over on the North Kitsap Peninsula that had a very high population of Native Americans. And while I was there, I noticed, and I volunteered in these classrooms, one teacher was for the Native American classrooms, another teacher was for the Caucasian classrooms. And I could see the difference in the education. It was vast, it was shocking. So when I would go to the Caucasian classroom, they would be moving forward with their education. I would go to the Native American classroom, and they would be struggling with behavior issues that they couldn't get into the education because they were dealing with behavior issues. So we need to have teachers who are effective in helping these students to learn. And that's a technique that it's part from that person as well as learned. So we need to be sure that we educate our educators so they know how to educate the Native American people. We also have to provide infrastructure so that they can travel more easily from where they're living to where they need to work and to their education where they're going to school.
Candidate Ramos, the same question. American Indians and Alaska Natives living in Washington have high rates of homelessness, health issues, and problems with educational access, and they often lack access to tribal systems and resources, even those are underfunded. What will you do in Congress to address the issues faced by these groups?
Well, we took their land and now we're not giving them enough resources. I think we need to, tribal sovereignty doesn't mean we don't support them financially. There's things that we can do to increase funding for the roads, for the school system, for the medical. And if they want to, make sure that they have their sovereignty as we have the treaties, I will support to make sure they're enforced properly. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to, give them money for what they need. They're Americans like everybody else, and they need to be treated fairly.
All right, thank you everyone. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break here, and then when we come back, we'll be taking questions from the audience.